Hello and welcome to the Tier 1 Grand Finale of the international leg of the Flames by Fundesliga Season 2. And here to conduct the quiz is Abhinav Dasgupta. Abhinav, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and welcome all to the final of the Flames International League, brought to you by Fundesliga, which, of course, is the premier quiz contest in the world, officially certified. There you go. 256 players, 450 questions, 386 matches, and it's all come down to this. We have Pat Gibson, Nikhil Soneja, Santosh, Swaminathan and Jayakanthan here in the finals. And before we begin, here we go. The honors board for the most owns, Pat is in the final, 79 owns, followed by Nikhil, Santosh, Swaminathan, well, all three of them in the finals, Adam Hancock, Varun, Rajiv, Dan Burgess, Dan Peitel. Most aggregate correct answers, once again, Pat and Nikhil lead the pack with Varun, Jimmy, Chris Abrams, and Dan Burgess there as well. For the most bonus points, the maximum number of steals, Jim Mudrak, 52, followed by Jimmy, Ian Bailey, Shorjo, Nikhil Soneja, Aniket Khasgiwale, Pradeep Ramaratnam, and Lewis Jones. And the best bonus strike rate, Jayakanthan. Boy, does he not get anything wrong at all. Greg Zetner, Drew Sheila, Lewis Jones, Matthew, Marcus, and Long and Gwen. That's our honors board for this season of Flames. And meet our Tier 1 finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pat Gibson. Most wins this season. Well, he's just sort of made this a habit, hasn't he, Pat? Ranked first, league table points first, most owns first, total correct answers first. Is there something, Pat, you aren't first at? Bonus attempt success rate, that's check. Ninth there for Pat. Let's see whether he's able to sort of better that in the finals. Pat Gibson, player 1. In seat 2, Nikhil Soneja, Dubai, UAE. First, once again, on most wins and league table points. Second on most owns, total correct answers. First again, and 17th on bonus attempt success rate. Welcome, Nikhil, to the
Thank
final.
you. Good
Flames.
to be here.
Player 3, Jayakanthan, no stranger to the FLQL and Flames finals, former winner. Most wins, once again, ranked first. Third on table points, 8th on owns, 7th on correct answers, and 98% bonus attempt success rate. Incredible stats there. JK, welcome. And finally, Santosh Swaminathan. Your first FLQL or Flames final, Santosh?
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome. Welcome once again, Santosh. Terrific entertainment quizzer, in particular from Bangalore in India. Once again, most wins first. 4th on league table points, 2nd on owns, 11th on correct answers, and ranked 72nd. Good, Santosh, I'm sure you will pounce perhaps a little less in this quiz than you would at ASCANS. That, by the way, is the Karnataka Quiz Association Festival. But before we begin, there are a few other people we sort of need to acknowledge. This league wouldn't have got to where it has, but for the contributions of the question setters. Here they are in order: Akul Guttu, Amlan Sanyal, Shresht Shah, Hari Parameshwaran, Shrikant Reddy, Nitish Kadia, Vishumpal, Ramesh Atriya, Movin Miranda, Kanika Yadav, Ashwini Nattu, Maitre Goa, Eti Jetwani, Vikas Plakot, and Arjo Priyo Ganguly, with a couple of guest quads from Dhruv Mukherjee and yours truly, Abhinav Dasgupta. And special thanks to Amlan. Amlan is here today. He's been really the man who's kind of kept the wheels rolling throughout the league. So Amlan, thank you very much for organizing a league of this scale, helping set all the games, making sure the scoreboard's updated, all of that. Incredible job from you. And finally, would also love to acknowledge all the readers who kind of ensured that they gave up many, many hours of their time to read games. It's quite often a thankless job, except, of course, when you are reading the final. But thanks to all of them who, like I said, kept the wheels rolling. All right, so without further ado, let's begin, gentlemen, the finals of the Flames International League. First question.
All the best.
Pat Gibbs.
All the
All
best.
the best to all of you. Pat, your first question. The Inter-Allied Games was a one-off multi-sport event held from 22nd June to 6 July 1919 at the newly constructed Pershing Stadium just outside Paris, France, following the end of World War I. These military Olympics were part of demobilization and were organized by the US Navy in collaboration with which entity which provided human and logistic support behind the lines? That's the poster. Ten seconds.
Red Cross?
Not the Red Cross. Over to, sorry, passing order, Nikhil.
The League of Nations?
Not the League of Nations. JK?
I'd say pass, sorry.
Passing you. Santosh?
I'll pass.
Passing. This is, I wish I could sing this, the YMCA.
Oh,
The Young Men's Christian Association, the YMCA. All right, next question. Pat, according to singer Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, this 2010 song was her answer to Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys that is often considered one of the best songs about New York City. Its lyrics are an ode to the state in which both Hudson and Snoop Dogg were born and raised. Which song?
California Girls?
California Girls is absolutely correct. Is the answer on your screen, California Girls. Catherine Elizabeth Hudson is, of course, Katy Perry's real name. Nikhil, your question. At which preeminent spiritual side of religion would one come across the door of peace, the door of livelihood, the door of learning, and the door of grace? What worldview is the layout of these doors supposed to reflect, which is a fundamental aspect of this religion? So two-part question. Where would you see all of this? And if you look at the image, look at the layout of these doors, what is it supposed to depict? And seconds?
I'd say the Potala Palace and the Four Noble Truths.
Not the Potala Palace and the Noble Truth. JK? Passing to JK, you might want to be a little louder. Can't hear you too well.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Santosh? This is better. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mine?
Santosh, go on.
I'll say the Golden Temple, and the people of from all corners of the world are welcome.
That's the perfect answer there. This is the Golden Temple or Har Mandir Sahib in
of course it is.
Amritsar. And the four doors opening in all four directions, which indicate openness and a warm welcome to all human beings. All four corners of the world is good enough for that. Well done, JK on the steel. Santosh, I'm sorry, on the steel. On the next question to Nikhil, the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, draws heavily from real-life pirates as inspirations for his characters in the manga. The antithesis to Blackbeard in One Piece, Edward Blank is Whitebeard. The strongest man in the world, Whitebeard, becomes the preeminent patriarch in the story as well. Where is his last name derived from? A prison in London where several great pirates were executed in real life. And seconds?
The Tower of London.
Not the Tower of London. JK? Pat?
Pass.
Santosh?
Pass.
So one more X there. This is Newgate Prison.
Of course.
London.
Yeah.
Edward Newgate is the name of Whitebeard. JK, your question's coming up. Ensayo sobre ceguera, or Essay on Blindness, was a 1995 novel translated into English as just Blindness. A sequel called Ensayo sobre lucidez, or Essay on Lucidity, followed in 2000, translated into English as Seeing. Which Nobel laureate wrote these books?
Saramago.
Jose Saramago is correct, 1998 Nobel laureate. If you notice those original titles, they're in Portuguese. Well done, Saramago. JK, when Kim Kardashian launched her KKW body fragrance in April 2018, she was accused of copying the bottle design of created by Jacques Cavalier for Jean-Paul Gaultier in 1993. The bottle design of the original features a female torso wearing a pink corset and itself took inspiration for whom and for what 1990 purpose? So we need two parts to this answer.
I'll try Madonna on the Material Girl tour. Material Girl video, whatever doing at the time.
Madonna and the Material Girl tour, no. Passing now to Pat.
Pass.
Santosh.
Pass.
And Nikhil.
This is Madonna and the Blonde Ambition tour.
The Blonde Ambition tour is absolutely correct by for Madonna as well. Jean-Paul Gaultier designed these corsets. There you can see the original. Moving on now to Santosh's questions. Shown here is which popular tragic romance of Punjab. This tragic life story involves the classical motif of hero and Leander, with the heroine tricked into a tragic death by her evil sister-in-law as she replaces the earthenware pot used by the heroine to cross the river to meet her lover with a vessel of unbaked clay, which of course dissolves in water. Rather intriguing.
Mastani.
Not Bajirao Mastani. Pat.
Pass.
JK.
I'll try Soni Mahiwal.
Soni Mahiwal is correct. Jaykantan knows his Punjabi legends. Well done. Soni Mahiwal or Soni Meher is correct. Santosh, your next question. Which cinematic sensorial technique with a hyphenated name was created by Hans Lauber and made its only appearance in the 1960 film Scent of Mystery? Lauber's technique was introduced during the 1939 New York World's Fair. The system connected pipes to individual seats in theaters so that the desired timing and amount could be carefully controlled by the projectionist.
I say smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision is absolutely correct. Great answer there by Santosh. This is smell-o-vision. Hans Lauber. Moving on to round two. Pat, your first question. One character in One Piece, inspired by Real Pirate, was Captain X Blank, inspired by the man who sailed aboard the ship Sean. Identify the privateer who was knighted aboard the vessel by Elizabeth I.
Break.
Sir Francis, this is the Golden Hind, the model in London, Bank of the Thames. Quite a lovely structure to go visit. Pat, which popular chemical compound is responsible for blocking the bitterness in foods like grapefruit and cocoa products, making them not only sweeter but also more fragrant?
Miraculin.
Not Miraculin, JK.
I'll pass.
Santosh.
Salt.
Common salt is all we were looking for.
Wow.
That's the answer. Common salt is what blocks the bitterness in foods. Okay, Nikhil, your question coming up. The cheerleading squads of the franchises that are a part of the Big Four American sports leagues, you know which ones they are, often have unique names that are relevant to the teams that they cheer for. The Gold Rush is the cheerleading squad for which franchise from one of the Big Four sports leagues?
Say the 49ers.
Perfect answer. This is the San Francisco 49ers, who of course were named after the year that the Gold Rush began, 1949. Nikhil, your next question. From 1992, the MTV Movie Awards has a Best Kiss category. If you want to recreate the kiss that won the 2005 award, you may visit the Harbor View Inn in Charleston, South Carolina, where you can take a tour of Ali and Noah's timeless romance experience that will take you to many of the film's shooting locations. While the kiss was iconic, the actors who featured in it say it felt real because they were freshly dating at the time and the relationship would last for 2 more years after the movie. Which pair won the 2005 award for a 2004 movie, just to be clear, playing characters from a Nicholas Sparks book? Need the names of the 2 lead actors.
Gosling and McAdams.
Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams from The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. Absolutely correct. That's the kiss. Fairly wet in different senses of the term. JK. Which proprietor and bartender of a Springfield bar frequented by Homer Simpson is voiced by Hank Azaria and first appeared in the series premiere episode Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire? I'll tell you, we need a full name here. And seconds.
I'll say Mo Wiggins.
Mo Wiggins, Pat?
Mo Sislak.
Mo Sislak is what the owner's full name is. Most stubborn, of course, are familiar with. Mo Sislak. Pat gets the steal. JK. Although first recorded by Mary Maguire, the song was made most famous by a familial folk rock vocal group in the 1960s. The lyrics express the narrator's longing for the warmth of Los Angeles during a cold winter in New York City and is repeatedly used in the 1994 Hong Kong film Chungking Express as a central plot point. Which song?
This must be California Dreaming.
California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. That's the familial connection. Wong Kar-wai, Chungking Express. 3333. Santosh, your question. The 2017 winner of the Best Kiss category at the MTV Movie Awards was won by Ashton Sanders and Cheryl Jerome for which film? It helped another actor become the first Muslim to win an acting Oscar and is the second lowest grossing film domestically behind The Hurt Locker to win the Oscar for Best Picture.
Moonlight?
Yes, not La La Land, but Moonlight. It was that won the Best Picture that year. Mahershala Ali is the person in question. Santosh, your next question. Which taste-modifying protein that causes an inversion of sour to sweet is derived from a similarly named berry? The berry was documented by explorer Chevalier Desmarchais during a 1725 excursion to West Africa. The source word for both the berry and the protein has a rather wonderful Proto-Indo-European etymology.
I believe this is Miraculous.
This is indeed Miraculin. Sorry, Pat. Yes, Miraculin, which comes from May, which means to smile or to be astonished. Good answer there. And Santosh leads the pack with 5. Round 3. Pat, your question. Famous as the theme music for the Lone Ranger TV series, this is the overture to which 19th century opera? Based on a play of the same name, it is titled after an Alpine marksman who stood up to the tyranny of an evil bailiff, even if it meant putting the apple of his eye at considerable risk. Discuss with us. Needs the audio to answer this, but it's a nice bit of music. Pat, go ahead.
The William Tell Overture.
William Tell Overture, Gioacchino Rossini is absolutely correct. Shocked by Pat, just like Tell. The Embraceable Youths was the original name used by the cheerleading squad of which American sporting franchise? Luckily, this cringeworthy name was changed in 1995.
The Rams.
That's correct. The Los Angeles Rams is absolutely right. Embrace it, the use for crying out loud. All right. Nikhil, whose first line on screen was "Give me a whiskey, ginger ale on the side, and don't be stingy, baby." Deep, husky, throaty contralto.
Greta Garbo.
Greta Garbo is absolutely right. Zana Christie. Greta Garbo. Great answer. Nikhil, George Montgomery steps into the shoes of Philip Marlowe in this 1947 film noir about the investigation into the disappearance of a precious coin. Released as The High Window in the UK, what was its original name in the US? The name references a gold coin that used to be manufactured in Spain once. Seconds.
The doubloon.
Give you for that, JK.
I'll pass.
Pat.
Pass.
Santosh.
Is that the Dane curse?
Not the Dane, because you're right about that coin, Nikhil, but the movie is called The Brasher.
Wow.
They've got to it.
That's Philip Marlowe was
Yeah.
Bogart.
Yeah.
He played. Okay, JK, the captain of the Rumbar Pirates, Yorkie, is inspired by Jack Rackham. What moniker are they both known by? A type of clothing most associated with a real-life pirate? Need an answer, JK?
Long Johns.
Not Long John's, Pat.
Calico.
Calico is the
Calico
right
Jack.
answer. Calico Jack. Absolutely. Okay. Sorry, I think.
I just
No, I think you're fine.
All right. Question 2 now for JK. The Sunday Mercury, New York, reported on 19th March 1876, clarifying what misattribution gets the term from a Guyanese, now reformed American woman who held 3 men at gunpoint while saying, "Leave your money and keep your life." The term isn't widely used, but the meaning is still the same. This is the earliest mention of this term in print. What term are we talking about? Misattribution. Seconds. In answer, JK?
Sorry.
Okay, we'll pass you. Move to Pat.
Pass.
Nikhil
Pass.
and Santosh.
Highway robbery?
Sorry, say that again.
Highway robbery?
Highway robbery, not highway robbery. It's actually not, well, it's actually Guyanese and not Mexican. Standoff. You've seen that in
Got it.
a few movies. And Santosh, your question coming up. In 1936, Elsa Schiaparelli created the shocking perfume in the Art Deco, using inspiration from the Flowers lithography series created by Salvador Dali, who reportedly sent a molding of her figure to serve as inspiration for the nude torso bottle design. Ten seconds.
I'd say Mae West.
Absolutely correct. Seen Dali's Mae West lips so far and things like that. Okay, Santosh, your next question. This 1938 ballet by Aaron Copland is named after which juvenile gunslinger from 1870s America? Lawman Pat Garrett unsurprisingly features as a character given how he was the one who brought an end to a titular anti-hero's exploits one night in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. All right, who are we talking about?
Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid is correct. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, for those of you who've seen the lovely Sam Peckinpah movie, 1973. Okay, round 4, over to you, Pat. In Vastu Shastra, oh gosh, the central part of any building or house is called what? Interestingly, the word and concept connotes the highest universal principle and the ultimate reality in the universe, and appropriately, from a quantum physics point of view, originates in the Sanskrit root words for to expand or enlarge. According to Vastu, much care must be given to the center as it's helpful in reducing all other Vastu defects and negative energy of any other part of the building. Seconds?
Nirvana.
Nikhil?
Pass.
Santosh?
Pass.
That passed everyone. This is called the Brahmasthan, right?
Brahma.
The
Okay.
center of it all. Brahmasthan.
Cool.
Pat, your next question. Published over 40 years after it was written, My Career Goes Bung is the sequel to the acclaimed debut novel My Brilliant Career by which Australian writer and feminist? The book was initially rejected by its Australian publisher, I think it was Angus and Robertson, not just for its overt feminism, but also the affair of the protagonist with a thinly disguised Banjo Patterson, best known for Waltzing Matilda.
Franklin.
Miles Franklin, perfect answer from Pat. It's one of the early feminist authors, early 20th century, Miles Franklin. Terrific answer there by Pat. Nikhil. This 18th century Rajasthan-style painting depicts the famous Persian tragic romance of Shirin and Farhad, by which Persian poet, who also wrote Laila and Majnu. His surname has nothing to do with weedy alopecia, but arose from him being born in a city whose name refers to it being a treasury and is now the third largest city in Azerbaijan. And seconds?
I will say Ganja Bird.
JK.
Pass.
Pat
Pass.
and Santosh.
Pass.
It's Ganja is the
Nikhil?
city, I know, but
Yeah, Ganja is indeed the city, and this is Ganjavi, right? Had you said Nizami, I would have given it to you too, because he's usually referred to as Nizami.
no, I
But
was just
Nizami-
wondering what the alopecia. Oh, okay, just Ganja. Okay, got it.
No.
Yeah,
Ganj
I know
is
the double meaning. Yeah, got it.
so Ganj is Hindi for being bald, and Ganja, of course, is weed and so on. It's a little bit of
Yeah.
wordplay. Okay, Nikhil, according to the singer-songwriter of the song, it laments the early death of Blank, a poor young southern girl who eventually moved westward, became a mother, and lived a hard, fast, unsettled life. He said that the character in the song is a composite of all the women with whom he has had relationships. The song narrates much of the person's life, starting with a birth in Mississippi and apparently the Dakota policeman while en route to Minnesota. Good song. 10 seconds.
The Bonnie and Clyde.
Not Bonnie and Clyde. JK?
Yes.
Pat?
Girl of the North Country.
Not Girl of the North Country. Santosh?
Me and Bobby McGee.
Not Me and Bobby McGee either. This is Danny,
Oh,
California by RHCP. Anthony Kiedis, who's part of the band who wrote it. JK, now your question coming up. This opera by an evergreen composer is titled after which Babylonian monarch? It describes the plight of the Jews as they are persecuted and exiled from their homeland by this figure, who certainly didn't believe in idly hanging around in his garden. Right, which monarch?
I'll try Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar is right. What you heard is called Va
Nabucco.
Pensiero, or the chorus of the Hebrew slaves from Nabucco by Giuseppe Verdi and hence evergreen. Nabucco is Nebuchadnezzar II. Nebuchadnezzar is good enough. JK, your next question. These windows in 19th century US homes served the purpose allowing for light to the older side of the house when a side wing was added. All good, but folklore has it that these windows were built to prevent what kind of unwelcome visitors?
These are witches.
These are witches, absolutely.
Nice.
And that's because witches on broomsticks apparently can't fly through angled windows as their brooms don't fit. Well, Hermione Granger could have a thing or two to say about that. Santosh, Garbo's line, "Give me a whiskey, ginger ale on the side," is from Anna Christie, which you know. Prior to the film's release, there was much apprehension and anxiety about Garbo's on-screen voice. So Frank Whitbeck, the studio's publicity executive, added which two words to the film's publicity and posters?
Garbo talks.
Santosh talks as well. Well done. Garbo talks. All right, your next question. 2022 saw Liam Neeson a singular role in Marlowe. The film's plot was based on the novel The Black-Eyed Blonde by which Booker-winning Irish author? He wrote it as Benjamin Black, his chosen pseudonym for crime novels. Ten seconds.
Rankin.
Right ranking, yet to win the Booker. Jayakantan. Nikhil.
I'll pass.
Pat, take it away.
Anvil.
John Banville, who won the
Okay.
2005
Okay.
Booker for The Sea. Outstanding work of fiction. If you haven't read it, please do. Incredible book. All right, so that's the halfway mark. Pat and Santosh in the lead with 8 apiece, JK on 5, and Nikhil. Over to the other Pat, your question. If you wanted to go drinking with Baltimore's finest natural police, read Duncan McNulty, which Irish pub would you frequent?
Oh,
Murphy's.
Not Murphy's. This is the only time people you'll ever see Pat missing a remotely Irish question. JK,
I'll pass.
Nikhil,
I'll pass.
and Santosh.
Can't remember. Pass.
Okay, I suppose all of you know where this is from.
Yeah,
It's from The Wire,
The Wire. This is
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh's Irish pub from Wire. McNulty is the detective. Pat, your next question. A technique called odorama was used in which countercultural 1981 John Waters film in homage to Smell-O-Vision and General Electric Smellorama. John Waters included scratch and sniff cards that the audience could use while watching the movie. The staple of queer cinema is named for a category of polymers used chiefly to make synthetic textile fibers. Seconds.
Polythene?
Not polythene, JK.
Polyester.
Polyester is what we were looking for. It's close enough by Pat, but JK steals it. Polyester. Nikhil. Developed in a YMCA in Connecticut, this is a high-intensity game created in the 1940s by tennis player Joseph Sobek, who wanted a fast-paced sport that was simple enough for anyone to play. Which game most often played with 2 or 4 players with a hollow rubber ball and is played both indoors and outdoors?
Rackets.
Prompt you on that.
Oh,
Answer?
racquetball. Right.
Racquetball is what
Sorry,
we needed.
yeah, got that.
Racquetball is the answer. So, Nikhil getting it on the repechage. Okay, your next question. Set in an immigrant neighborhood of Paris, which critically acclaimed 1995 film ends with one of cinema's most unnerving Mexican standouts. It's a abhorrent title derives from a line spoken by one of the characters, Hubert, who says blank, blank, attire, blank, blank, translated in English to blank, reads blank. Sorry, it's Sati here, not attire. This is
d'une société qui tombe et qui, au fur et à mesure de sa chute, se répète sans cesse pour se rassurer. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. L'important, c'est pas la chute.
one of the finest 1990s movie endings.
La Haine.
Is it La Haine or
The Hate.
The Hate, yes. Absolutely. JK. Interpretations of such romantic depictions range from an obvious celebration of life's pleasures to the more metaphorical symbolism of a human soul's longing for union with the divine. Take your pick. A recurrent trope in Indian temple art, which term from Tantricism is used for the couple participating in such a ritual depiction? The term may remind you of a Bollywood star and a breed of domestic cattle distributed in Northeast India. Ten seconds. Any answer, JK?
I'll say Ravina.
Not Ravina, Nikhil,
Pass.
Pat,
Pass.
and Santosh.
Pass.
Past
I
everyone.
feel like Vijantimala is the
No. So
the
this
only one
is
that
Mithun.
Mithuna.
Mithun. So Gemini is also, in fact, referred to as Mithun in the Indian zodiac system, but you can read about what that has to do with tantric sex and such other stuff. And JK, your next question. Which film by William Castle remains most well known for a gimmick called Percepto, a vibrating device in some of the theater chairs, which the on-screen action activated? The film tells the story of a scientist who discovers the titular parasite in human beings, which feeds on fear. The creature earned its name by making the spine of its host blank when the host is frightened. So which film is this? And seconds. In answer, JK?
Tingle.
Prompting you on that. Sorry, say that again.
Spine tingle.
No, Nikhil?
The Tingler.
The Tingler is
Wow.
correct. Sorry about that, JK.
Sorry,
the
JK.
movie is called The Tingler, and it says prompt on Tingle. So Tingle being the word that was redacted. The Tingler is what we needed, and nice steal there by Nikhil. Santosh, sharing its phonetics with an F1 constructor, which frequently appearing bar in How I Met Your Mother is based on New York pub McGee's. The apartment is located in the building above the bar, making it a convenient place for the gang to hang out. Seconds.
I'll say McLaren's.
McLaren's pub. That's all we needed. Well done. It's McLaren's pub. Your next question. Name the 2022 W.H. Smith Book of the Year and Simon & Schuster's most pre-ordered book of all time. Which novel by Colleen Hoover was a sequel to her best-selling 2016 work and was initially written as a thank you to fans of her first novel?
I'll say P.S. I Love You.
Not P.S. I Love You. It's a different author. JK.
It ends with us.
Could you repeat that?
It ends with us.
It ends with us. No, Nikhil?
Us.
And Pat?
Pass.
Okay,
Ooh.
so the 2016 book, in fact,
Ends with us.
Ends
Yeah.
with us. So this book is?
It starts with us.
It starts
I
with
would have gone with it.
us.
Yeah. Heard of
Yes,
that.
it starts with us. The 2016 book, of course, was. It ends with us. So,
Should have gone for
close,
it.
but no cigar for JK. Sorry about that. But round 6, Pat. Greta Garbo's 1939 film Ninochka, a satire of the Soviet Union under Stalin, carried which famous two-word tagline?
Garbo laughs.
Garbo laughs, indeed. Ninochka, one of the first collaborations of Charles and Billy Wilder, screenwriting team that went on to give us such gems as The Lost Weekend and Sunset Boulevard. It's directed by Ernst Lubitsch. Pat, there was rain pouring down my nose and it blocked my air passage so I couldn't breathe. And then she's kissing me, blocking the air passage there, so there's nowhere else to breathe. Which actor's words are these? One half of the winner for the 2003 winner of the Best Kiss category at the MTV Movie Awards. Seconds.
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire is correct.
Nice.
Kirsten Dunst, of course, this is that quite evocative, shall we say, Spider-Man kiss. Nikhil. The perfume bottle shows a female torso with bright pink hair and lips and sporting a red bralette, pretty much as attention-grabbing, brazen, and eye-catching as the entertainer endorsing and naming it. You can name either the perfume or the performer. 10 seconds.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is correct. This is called Minajesty. That's her range of perfumes. Nikhil, your next question. Cynarin is a phenolic agent present in the food item Cynara cardunculus. It inhibits sweet receptors, making the food taste less sweet, but causes the next bite of whatever you eat to taste a little sweeter as the effect of the food wears off. How do we better know Cynara cardunculus, a species of thistle? The Saracens introduced these to Italy, which may explain how The Arabic al-karshuf, meaning thistle, became what it did eventually in English? Seconds.
I'd say Asafoetida.
Asafoetida, JK?
I'll pass.
Pat?
Jerusalem artichoke.
Oh,
Artichoke is good enough, Jerusalem or otherwise, but you're right. Yes,
Jerusalem. Okay.
al-karshuf, meaning thistle, became artichioco in Italian, which eventually led to artichoke in English.
Right.
Artichoke is correct. Jerusalem artichoke, yes, it's Jerusalem or sunflower, I think.
Jerusalem, yeah, correct.
Okay, JK. Command Force is the cheerleading squad for which recently renamed franchise from one of the big four leagues, city and franchise, name both required.
This is the Washington Commanders.
Washington Commanders is perfect. Very nice answer from JK. Your next question. In the 1932 film Grand Hotel, Greta Garbo, playing the Russian ballerina Grusinskaya, says what famous line some 3 times in the film? The line was often used as a characterization of her personal reclusive life. Of course, it's later, but yeah.
This is I Want to Be Alone.
Yes, it's a little lonely at the top, isn't it, JK? I Want to Be Alone is correct. Okay. Santosh, your question. Which game devised at the YMCA in Holyoke, Massachusetts was initially called Mintonet because of its similarity with badminton? The creator later renamed it because the objective of the game was to blank the ball back and forth over a net, and the blank is part of the answer.
Volleyball?
Volleyball is correct. Do follow the Pro Volleyball League. It's on at the moment. Your next question, Santosh. In one of film history's most masterfully executed Mexican standoffs, which classic ends with the 3 lead characters staring down each other and fiddling with their holsters in the desert before one of them is finally shot and blown right into an ominously pre-dug grave?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Lee Van Cleef, Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach. That's a good answer. 11 to both, Pat and Santosh. 2 rounds to go. Let's see which way it goes. Pat. The 1800s Pahari school watercolor from Nalagarh shows King Dushyanta seated on a green carpet and sharing his feelings of love for whom to Madhavya, his friend and companion. The subject of Dushyanta's affections has been represented in operatic as well as sculptural forms for Western audiences. Seconds.
Lakme.
Not Lakme from Lakshmi, no. Nikhil?
Pass.
Yeah. JK?
This is Shakuntala.
Shakuntala is correct.
Opera.
Yes, there's also a Goethe work and I think a Camille Claudel sculpture of Shakuntala that exists as well.
Correct.
Great steal there by JK. And Pat, your next question. Which film from a popular franchise sees an entertaining naval Mexican standoff end on a damp note when the guns of all parties failed to fire because of wet gunpowder? The cutest moment, however, is when an iconic pet monkey gets in on the act by drawing his own pistol on a talkative parrot. And while you answer, I'll tell you we need the full title. That helps as a hint. Ten seconds.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Not Curse of the Black Pearl, Nikhil.
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. No.
JK
I'll pass.
and Santosh.
Can't remember. Pass.
So both of you are right on Pirates of the Caribbean. You guys
At
want to name a
World's
third?
End.
At World's End is correct.
Ah,
Couldn't pick. I was trying to think Damp Note. But could not figure that out. We have gone with
Right.
World's End.
Okay, Nikhil, your question coming up. Sense Surround is the brand name for a process developed by Seven Vega and Universal Studios to enhance the audio experience during film screenings. It was developed for which one-word 1974 film starring Charlton Heston and Ava Gardner? The sound design employed a pseudo-random noise generator to create a low-frequency rumble using recordings of a 1971 event localized around Southern California as reference.
Oh, okay. Earthquake.
Earthquake is absolutely correct. Film. And your next question. The title of the second volume of a person's biography means exactly the opposite of that of his first, published 20 years before. The author explains that the latter had been his way to distance his own personality from that of a character he is very closely associated with, but in reality, his feelings toward the character had not changed at all in the intervening years. When I read the name of the book, you can name either the author or the character. Ten seconds.
Mm,
Need an answer, Nikhil?
I'll say Leonard Nimoy.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So the two volumes of his autobiography were called I Am Not Spock.
I Am
and
Spock,
I Am
yeah.
Spock. Yeah. So that was the quad on sequels with completely opposite meanings.
I've got that.
Blindness and Seeing. Brilliant career goes bung and whatnot. Okay, JK. Which pair won the Best Kiss category at the MTV Movie Awards 4 times straight for 4 different movies within the same franchise in 9, 10, 11, and 12? Need 2 names.
You need the actors or the...
Yeah.
This is Stewart and Pattinson.
Perfect answer.
very nice.
Twilight pair, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. JK, your next question. These molecules attract capsaicin molecules, surround the capsaicin molecules, and then wash them away, taking away the burning sensation. What primary proteins in milk or dairy products affects this transformational hack?
This is casein.
Perfect answer, casein, or why you might want to have dairy products once you've bitten a green chili. Good answer there. This is heating up well, but Santosh, here's your chance to pull away. Marshal D. Blank bears the will of D and betrays his captain in one piece. Fill in the blanks with his last name, inspired by the captain of this ship seen in Pirates of the Caribbean. Taika Waititi plays the infamous pirate in the series Our Flag Means Death. Just note that that blank should read 5 letters and not 4. Just in case that helps. Ten seconds.
I'll say teach.
And you shall teach the others the answer. Absolutely. This is Edward Teach, who is known as Blackbeard. Marshall D. Teach. And Santosh, your next question. 2 versions of the music video were filmed. The singer's longtime friend, the actress Jada Pinkett Smith, came up with a concept inspired by a famous post-apocalyptic dystopian film. She was expected to direct the video, but she removed herself from the project and was replaced by Hype Williams. And the video, of course, is set in a desert in the year 2095 with song
California Love.
California Love by Tupac Shakur is absolutely correct. And which gets Santosh on to 13. One more round to go. How will this turn out? Let's see. Pat, your last 2 directs from the evening. Launched in November 2021, the scent created by which performer, touted as being vegan and cruelty-free, shows her bust without the top of the face. The bold design is a sign of how the 20-year-old performer who has struggled immensely with her body image and hidden herself in baggy clothes and neon green dyed hair is finally getting comfortable with herself.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is
Love it.
correct, and glad we are. She's getting comfortable. Pat, your last direct for the evening. Elliot Gould brought Philip Marlowe to life in a 1973 film whose name refers to a slow and painful end to things. Identify this Robert Altman neo-noir characterized by its long shots and naturalistic sound design. Seconds.
The Long Goodbye.
The Long Goodbye it is, and what an ironic way to end the directs for Pat. Hopefully it won't be a long goodbye. Nikhil, your directs. Comprising acts such as Upon the Night and To the Stars, this 2009 Philip Glass opera is about the life of which scientific genius? Remembered for his influence on the greatest British scientist ever, his groundbreaking work on celestial bodies movement was built upon a decade of observations of the red planet. With scientific genius.
Ooh. Who was it? Say Hardy.
No. Hardy, JK?
Is Haley?
Not Haley either. Santosh?
Oh.
No, Pat.
Kepler.
Johannes Kepler, absolutely. Kepler's law of planetary motion, of course, an influence on Isaac Newton, the greatest British scientist ever. I think that's a fair moniker. The opera is Kepler by Philip Glass. And Pat, now...
I was thinking of Hawking as the greatest British scientist.
For a moment, you probably said Ramanujan or something when you said Hardy. Okay, Paddy's Pub, The Worst Bar in Blank, is the 8th episode of the 4th season of which sitcom. The series follows the exploits of the gang, a group of narcissistic sociopathic friends who run this particular Irish dive bar. LA's Stockman building, ironically, serves as a real-world inspiration.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It is indeed Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Good answer. JK, your last two directs. The indoor gymnasium class offered activities like marching, calisthenics, and apparatus work, but these were pale substitutes for the more exciting games of football and lacrosse they played in warmer seasons. Over the winter of 1891-92, what idea did the instructor of this class, a 31-year-old graduate student, come up with?
This is basketball?
Basketball is correct. This is James Naismith. We're talking about... because they used a soccer ball and peach baskets for the first few games. JK, your last direct. This Edward Dmytryk film noir from 1944 saw Dick Powell essay the role of Philip Marlowe. Named the film. When it released in the UK, it had the same name as the original novel, and a Robert Mitchum adaptation in 1975 also kept the book's name. What we need is the name in the US release.
Oh.
The screens are there. It is.
JK. 10 seconds. Okay. Answer, JK.
Okay. I'll say the Glass Key.
Not the Glass Key. Nikhil?
Little Sister.
Not Little Sister either. Santosh?
Oh.
Farewell, My Lovely.
Not Farewell, My Lovely. Pat?
The Big Sleep.
Yeah.
Not the big sleep. No, that's 46, and that
I'm
has
pretty sure the
every-
Robert Mitchum one was little sister, though. I don't know why I'm getting
No,
confused.
so not farewell, my lovely, but murder, my sweet.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
the first release. Sorry
wow.
about that. Last two questions. Santosh, if you get one, you tie. And if you get both, you win. It's as simple as that. Automotion was the very apt name for the cheerleading squad for which franchise from one of the big four leagues? It appears that the cheerleading squad is no longer known by this name, maybe because the team hasn't been doing too well over the last few years. And seconds. All right, need an answer, Santosh.
Detroit Lions.
Not the Detroit Lions, Nikhil.
The Detroit Pistons. No, they're not
Detroit
even-
Pistons.
Ah.
There's the basketball team.
Yeah.
That's correct. Detroit Pistons, and that brings Nikhil on to 12 as well. Last question of the evening. Santosh, you answer, you tie, and goes into a tiebreaker. In Hong Kong's skyline, how are buildings owned by entities from mainland China clearly distinguishable from those owned by Hong Kong-owned companies? The Bank of China building is particularly notorious for this reason. Seconds.
I'll say they don't have floors, individual floors.
They don't have floors. Oh dear. JK.
This is the Feng Shui thing, the dragon holes.
You care to explain that?
So they believe that dragons are supposed to be a part of Feng Shui, an evil thing. So they'll construct a hole through which the
I'll
dragon.
give it to you. So basically, Feng Shui compliance is what you see versus not in the Hong Kong buildings. But that brings us to the end of the quiz, and Pat, driven by Kepler's planetary laws of motion right towards the end, clinches the quiz with 14. Terrific job, Pat, as always.
Great
Well
job,
played,
Pat.
everyone.
Well played.
Super.
But what an amazing scoreline there. JK and Santosh joined second with 13, and Nikhil with 12. 14, 12, 13, 13. Only 12 X's in the entire quiz. Thank you once again, gentlemen, for playing the finals. Thank you, as always, to the organizers, the readers, the question writers, all the people who've worked so hard to make Flames, both international and India, what it is. Do come back for the main season of the Fundesliga Quiz League, which should begin soon. Till then, it's your reader, Abhinav Dasgupta, signing off. Thank you and good night.
Thank you so much, Abhinav.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Abhinav.
Abhinav. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you all.